Last month, something very sad happened in the country of France. During one single heat wave that lasted only 3 days, about 1,000 people lost their lives. This is a very big number, and the part that touches my heart the most is that 85% of those people were over the age of 65. Right now, while you are listening to these words, the experts at the National Weather Service are telling us that almost 200 million Americans are living under a heat alert. This means the weather is getting dangerously hot for a huge part of our country. There is one part of this story that almost nobody ever talks about out loud, and we really need to change that. Most of the people who pass away during a heat wave are not outside in the sun. They are actually at home, sitting in a comfortable chair. Some of them even have a fan running just 3 feet away from them. They are doing exactly what they have done every single summer of their entire lives, thinking they are safe. But here is the truth that we often do not hear. Once you pass the age of 60, your body quietly starts to lose its ability to keep itself cool. It is a slow change that happens without a sound, and usually nobody sits us down to give us a fair warning that it is happening. My name is Dr. John Myers. Over the years, I have cared for so many patients who were absolutely sure that the heat was only a problem if you were outside. They thought it was something that only happened to people working on roofs or young people playing sports in the sun. I have met so many retired women who sat in their own living rooms and never once imagined that the heat could be a danger to them right there. That belief is exactly what makes the hot weather so dangerous. There are 5 common mistakes that can turn a normal hot day into a scary emergency. A few of these mistakes might be things you are doing right this second, thinking they are keeping you safe and cool. Before you look away, thinking you already know everything about staying cool, please stay with me. Getting even one of these 5 things wrong is often what leads people to the emergency room. By the time we are finished today, you will know all 5 mistakes. You will see which ones apply to your own life, and you will know exactly what to do instead. We are going to start right now because your safety is so important to me. Before we go any further, I want to say one quick thing. The reason I share these helpful messages is because staying safe in the heat is just one small piece of a much bigger picture. There are a few small habits we do every day that decide if we will stay strong and independent when we are 80, or if we will start to struggle and slow down when we are 65. I also want to ask you for something that would mean the world to me and to our entire community. We are working incredibly hard to reach 1,000 subscribers on this channel so we can continue bringing you this kind of life-saving, science-backed health information that can truly make a difference in your life. Your subscription is not just a number to us. It represents another person who cares about their health and safety, another member of our supportive community, and it helps us reach even more people with information that could literally save their lives. So please, right now, take just 2 seconds to click that subscribe button below this video. Turn on the notification bell so you never miss our important health updates. Every single subscription brings us closer to our goal and motivates us to keep creating this valuable content for you, absolutely free. If you find this information helpful, subscribing is the best way to show your support and ensure you never miss a video that could protect you or someone you love. Now let me start by explaining the one thing that connects all 5 of these mistakes. Once you understand this one idea, every mistake will make perfect sense to you. Your body was born with a built-in cooling system, almost like the one in a car. When your body gets too warm, it does 2 main things to help you out. First, your heart starts pumping more blood out toward the surface of your skin. It does this so the heat from your blood can move out into the air. Second, you start to sweat. As that sweat dries on your skin, it carries the heat away from you. This system is truly amazing. For most of your life, it works so well that you never even have to think about it. But here is what changes as the years go by. After you reach the age of 60, that cooling system starts to get a little bit weaker in 3 different ways. First, you actually sweat less than you used to, and it takes longer for your body to start sweating. This means you lose one of your best ways to get rid of heat, Second, your body's ability to feel how hot it is or how thirsty you are starts to fade. It is like the alarm on your house is not as loud as it used to be. Third, an older heart has a much harder time pumping all that extra blood to the skin to let the heat out. This is especially true if you are already dealing with things like high blood pressure or heart problems. Now, I want to be very clear. None of this means you are weak or frail. This happens to people who are strong, active, and very healthy. It is just the way our bodies work as we age, but almost nobody ever tells us this. There is one more thing that decides how dangerous a hot day really is, and the regular temperature you see on the news actually hides it from you. That thing is humidity, or how much water is in the air. Remember, your main tool for staying cool is sweat drying on your skin. But when the air is already full of moisture, your sweat has nowhere to go. It just stays on you or drips off, and it does not cool you down at all. That is why 90 degrees in a dry place, like a desert, feels very different from 90 degrees in a sticky, humid place. This is why weather experts talk about the heat index. That is the number that tells you what the air actually feels like to your body when you include the humidity. When you are deciding how careful you need to be, always look for that heat index number. It is also a great idea to check the weather the night before it gets hot. If your phone can tell you when there is a heat alert nearby, please turn that on so you are never caught off guard. Every mistake I am going to tell you about comes down to one simple question. Is this choice helping my body get rid of heat, or is it quietly making it harder for my cooling system to do its job? Keep that question in your mind as we go through these. The first mistake is thinking that a fan is all you need to stay safe. I know that sounds a bit strange because a fan feels like the most obvious way to stay cool. Most of us grew up using fans. When the air moves, your skin feels cooler and you think you are protected. In weather that is just a little bit warm, that is true. A fan helps your sweat dry faster, and that keeps you cool. But there is a certain temperature where a fan stops helping and actually starts to hurt you. This is the part that surprises many people. The experts at the Centers for Disease Control are very direct about this. When the air in your room gets into the mid to high 90s, a fan will not stop you from getting sick from the heat. Once it gets above 95 degrees, the air itself is actually hotter than your skin. At that point, the fan is just blowing hot air onto your body. It is like being inside an oven with a fan. It can actually make your body temperature go up. And because the moving air feels like a nice breeze, it tricks you. You feel okay right up until the moment you are in big trouble. You might sit there feeling fine while your body is secretly getting way too hot. This is exactly why so many people are found in hot rooms with their fans still running. They were doing what always worked in the past, but they did not know that fans stop being helpful at a certain temperature. So, here is what you should do instead. When the heat is truly dangerous, a fan is not enough. You cannot rely on it as your only way to stay cool. The most powerful thing you can use to stay safe is air conditioning. Even spending just a few hours a day in air conditioning makes a huge difference in keeping you safe. If you have air conditioning at home, please use it. Do not worry about the cost of the electric bill on those very hot days, because your health is worth much more than that. If you do not have air conditioning at home, those are the days you should go somewhere that does. You could go to a library, a shopping mall, a movie theater, or a friend's house. Spending a few hours in cool air helps your body reset itself. If you are using a fan, you can make it work better by making your skin wet. You can use a cool, damp cloth on your neck, a spray bottle of water, or take a cool shower. This gives the fan some water to dry, which actually pulls the heat away from you. A fan blowing air over dry skin in a very hot room is not helping you much at all. Also, do not forget how helpful a plain cool shower or bath can be. It is one of the fastest ways to cool your body down if your house has gotten too warm. It works faster than a fan and even faster than drinking a cold glass of water. Wearing clothes that are loose, light, and light-colored helps too because it lets your sweat dry properly. On the hottest days, try taking a cool shower in the morning and another one in the evening. Keeping a wet cloth on the back of your neck in between will do more for you than any fan in your house. Before we continue, I want to pause for just a moment to ask you again to please subscribe to our channel if you have not already done so. We are so close to reaching 1,000 subscribers, and your support means everything to us. When you subscribe, you are joining a community of people who are committed to staying healthy, safe, and informed. You are also helping us reach that important milestone that allows us to continue creating this content. Click that subscribe button right now and turn on notifications so you are always the first to know when we share important health information like this. Your subscription takes just a second, but it makes a huge difference to our channel and to the thousands of people we are trying to reach with this life-saving information. The second mistake is one I really wish more people knew about because you cannot see it happening. It is not thinking about the medications you take every day. This is a big deal for people over 60 because most of us take at least one prescription, and many of those medicines can quietly mess with our body's cooling system. I want to tell you the names of these medicines because you deserve to know exactly what to look for. First, there are water pills, which doctors call diuretics. Millions of people take these for blood pressure or to help with swelling. These pills are designed to pull fluid out of your body, but during a heat wave, you are already losing fluid through sweat. These pills can make you get dehydrated much faster, and they can also make you feel less thirsty so you do not even know you need water. Next are beta blockers, which are also used for blood pressure. The experts warn that these can do two things. They can make you sweat less, and they can make it harder for your heart to pump blood to your skin. That means your two main ways of staying cool are being turned down at the same time. There is also a group of medicines called anticholinergics. These are found in some pills for bladder problems, some for sadness or depression, and even some over-the-counter pills for sleep or allergies. These can sometimes stop your body from sweating altogether. Now, please hear me. This does not mean these medicines are bad. They are doing a very important job by keeping your heart and blood pressure where they need to be. So here is the most important thing I will say in this section. Do not ever stop taking your medicine or skip a dose just because it is hot outside. Doing that can be much more dangerous than the heat itself. Instead, you should plan around them. If you take any of these pills, you are at a higher risk when it is hot. You just need to be extra careful about staying cool and drinking water compared to someone who does not take any medicine. This summer, before the next big heat wave, call your doctor's office or talk to your pharmacist. Ask them one simple question. Do any of my medicines change how my body handles the heat? This is a 5-minute talk that could save your life. Some doctors might change the time you take your pill when it is extremely hot, but that is a choice for them to make, not for you to decide on your own. Let me take a quick moment to ask a small favor. If this information is helpful to you, please let me know by leaving a comment below. Tell me where you are watching from and how the weather has been in your area. I read those comments, and they help me decide what helpful stories to share next. Also, please give this video a thumbs up if you are finding it valuable. Likes help our videos reach more people who need this information, and it brings us closer to that 1,000 subscriber goal that means so much to our community. All right, let us talk about the third mistake. The third mistake is waiting until you feel thirsty before you take a drink. For most of your life, being thirsty was a perfect alarm. When your body needed water, you felt thirsty, you drank some water, and the problem was solved. But remember how I said our cooling system gets a little dull as we get older? Your sense of thirst is part of that, and it is one of the first things to change. This is something doctors know very well. The National Institute on Aging says that older adults just do not feel as thirsty as younger people do, even when their bodies really need water. If you add a water pill and the extra sweat from a hot day, you can become very dehydrated without your body ever telling you. By the time you actually feel like you need a drink on a hot day, you are already in trouble. Trying to catch up on water in the heat is very hard to do. When you are dehydrated, your blood gets thicker, your blood pressure can drop, and it puts a lot of stress on your heart and kidneys. It also makes you much more likely to feel dizzy or have a fall. This means you cannot use thirst as your guide anymore. You have to drink water on a schedule, whether you feel like it or not. On a hot day, keep a glass or a bottle of water right next to you and take small sips all day long. Do not try to drink a whole lot at once. A good goal for most people is to have a glass of water every hour or so during the heat. You should drink even more if you are moving around or sweating. The only exception is if your doctor has told you to limit how much you drink. A very simple way to see if you are drinking enough is to look at your urine when you go to the bathroom. If it is a very pale yellow, like the color of light straw, you are doing a great job. If it is dark, that means you are behind and need to drink more water. I want to give you one honest warning here because it connects back to the medicine mistake. A small number of people who have heart or kidney problems are told by their doctors not to drink too much fluid. If your doctor has told you that, you must follow their rules first. For everyone else, drinking water steadily is one of the easiest ways to stay out of trouble. Also, if you are sweating a lot for several hours, just plain water might not be enough because you are also losing salt and minerals. In those times, a glass of something with electrolytes, a little bit of juice, or a salty snack can help keep your body balanced. One more thing about drinks that confuses people. Alcohol and drinks with a lot of caffeine, like coffee or soda, actually pull water out of your body. Having a few beers or several cups of coffee in the heat can push you toward dehydration when you can least afford it. You do not have to give them up forever, but try to have a glass of water for every cup of coffee or beer you drink, and try to go easy on them when it is really hot outside. The fourth mistake is the one that leads to the sad numbers I mentioned at the beginning. It is trusting your own body to tell you when your home has become too hot. As we talked about, when your sense of temperature and thirst get weaker, you lose that inner warning that keeps you safe. And here is the scary part. On a hot afternoon, your house gets warmer very slowly, 1 degree at a time. It happens so slowly that you just get used to it without even noticing. You might feel a little warm, or maybe a bit tired or fuzzy-headed, but you tell yourself you are fine. Meanwhile, the room around you has become hotter than your body can handle. This is why most heat deaths happen inside, not out in the sun. Researchers often find the same sad thing. Many people who pass away had homes that were just too hot, and often their air conditioner was turned off or they did not have one at all. More than 80% of people in America who die from the heat are over the age of 60, and this mistake is the main reason why. Let me tell you about a man I will call Frank. Frank is a person I made up based on many real patients I have helped, and his story is very common. Frank was 78 years old and lived by himself. He was very smart and very proud of being independent. He took a water pill and another pill for his blood pressure, and they were both doing a good job. Frank grew up in a time before air conditioning was common, and he never really liked using it. On hot days, he would keep the AC off to save money. He would just open a window and turn on a fan. He did not feel like he was in any danger. He just felt a little bit warm and a little tired, and he thought it was just because of his age and the weather. What Frank could not feel was that everything was adding up. The heat in the room, the fan blowing warm air, the water pill making him dry, and the other medicines slowing down his sweating. His body was getting way too hot, but the alarms in his body that should have been screaming for help had been turned down because of his age and his medicine. He did not call anyone because he felt mostly okay. The way to fix this is to stop trusting how you feel, because your feelings can trick you. Instead, trust a number and trust a person. Put a simple thermometer in your house where you can see it easily. Know your limit. If the room gets hotter than 85 degrees and keeps going up, especially if it has been hot for several days, do not try to tough it out. That is the time to go somewhere cooler. You can also do a few simple things to keep your home from getting too hot in the first place. Keep your blinds and curtains closed on the side of the house where the sun is shining so the sun does not bake your rooms. Remember that heat rises, so an upstairs bedroom might be much hotter than the downstairs. On a very hot day, stay and sleep in the lowest and coolest room you have. If you have things to do outside, like gardening or going to the store, do them very early in the morning or after the sun goes down. Stay out of the sun between 10 in the morning and 4 in the afternoon when it is the strongest. Also, set up a buddy system. If you live alone, ask one person, a neighbor, a family member, or a friend to check on you every single day when it is hot. They can call you or stop by, and you should do the same for someone else. So many of these tragedies happen because the person did not know they were in danger and nobody was there to see it. One knock on the door can save a life. It almost was not enough for Frank, and I will tell you the end of his story in a second because it leads to the fifth and most important mistake. Before I do that, let me remind you one more time to please subscribe to our channel. We need your help to reach 1,000 subscribers. Your subscription costs you nothing but means everything to us and to the community we are building together. Click that subscribe button now. The fifth mistake is not knowing the difference between being a little too hot and having a real emergency. Knowing that difference is what separates a small scare from a tragedy. There are two stages you need to know about. The first stage is called heat exhaustion. This is your body waving a red flag to tell you that you need help right away while things are still easy to fix. The signs are heavy sweating, skin that feels cool and damp, muscle cramps, feeling weak or dizzy, a headache, or feeling like you might throw up. If you notice these signs, the fix is simple. Stop what you are doing, get to a cool place, lie down, loosen your clothes, sip some cool water, and put cool wet cloths on your skin. Focus on your neck, your armpits, and your groin, because those are areas where large blood vessels are close to the surface. Usually, if you do these things, you will start to feel better soon. But if you miss those signs, it can turn into the second stage, which is called heat stroke. Heat stroke is a very serious medical emergency, and you must call 911 immediately. The experts say heat stroke happens when your body temperature gets up to 104 degrees or higher and your cooling system has completely stopped working. Here are the signs that mean you need to get help right now. Being confused, having trouble speaking clearly, or acting in a way that does not make sense. The skin is often hot and dry because the person has stopped sweating. They might have a very fast, pounding heartbeat, a bad headache, or they might pass out. That confusion or change in how a person acts is the most important warning sign of all. Sometimes families think the person is just tired because they are older, but you should never ignore it. When the body gets that hot, it starts to hurt its own organs, including the brain. Every minute is very important. If you see these signs in yourself or someone else, call 911 right away. While you wait for help, move the person to a cool spot. If you can, put them in a cool bath or shower, or put ice packs and cold, wet cloths on their neck, armpits, and groin. Cooling them down quickly in those first few minutes is what saves their life and their brain. There is one very important warning. If the person is confused or has passed out, do not try to give them water to drink. They could choke on it, and that would make things even worse. Just focus on cooling them from the outside with cold cloths and let the medical workers handle the rest when they arrive. This is where Frank's story gets better. Frank was very lucky because of his neighbor. She had made it a habit to check on him every evening during that hot week. When she came by that night, Frank did not answer the door like he usually did. When she found him, he was sitting in his chair. He was awake, but he was very confused and was saying things that did not make any sense. His skin felt very hot and dry. She knew that confusion during a heat wave is a big emergency. She called 911 and put cold, wet towels on his neck and under his arms while they waited. The paramedics continued to cool him down on the way to the hospital. Frank had to stay in the hospital for 2 days, but he was able to go home. The doctor told his family that if he had been alone for just 1 more hour, they probably would have lost him. Frank is doing great today. He uses his air conditioning now whenever it gets hot, and he does not worry about the bill. His neighbor still stops by to see him. He is alive today because one person knew the signs to look for. That is exactly why I wanted to share this with you. Let me put all 5 mistakes together so you can remember them easily. First, do not rely only on a fan when it is very hot. If it is over 95 degrees, it can make things worse. Use air conditioning and keep your skin wet. Second, know your medicines. Pills for water, blood pressure, sleep, and allergies can make heat more dangerous. Talk to your doctor or pharmacist and never stop your medicine on your own. Third, do not wait until you are thirsty to drink. Have water on a schedule and check to see that your urine is a light color. Fourth, do not trust the feeling that you are okay. Use a thermometer to check the room and have a friend check on you every day. Fifth, learn the scary signs of heat stroke, like confusion and hot, dry skin. If you see them, call 911 and start cooling the person right away. None of these things cost a lot of money or are hard to do. Each one is a tool you can use to keep yourself and the people you love safe this summer. If this was helpful to you, please do me one small favor. You can stay connected with us by subscribing to our channel, which helps this message reach more people. We are so incredibly close to 1,000 subscribers, and each subscription represents another life that could be saved by this information. Please share this video with one person you love who is over the age of 60, because this information really can save a life. Leave a comment below telling us where you are from and whether you have experienced dangerous heat in your area. Your stories help build this community and inspire us to keep creating content that truly matters. Please take good care of yourself in this heat and remember to look in on your neighbors and friends. Subscribe now, turn on notifications, and be part of our growing community dedicated to health, safety, and living our best lives at any age.